You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
You know what I mean?
Money to be made in a place like this.
Money never sleeps, pal.
You're crazy. Don't run when you lose. Don't whine when it hurts.
You know what it takes to sell real estate? It takes brass.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
All right, welcome back to Money Never Sleeps. This is the show where we talk about anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And we touch on everything, actually, as you know. I hope that everyone had a great holiday season. And New Year's came in with a bang. And now 2015 is upon us. So I hope you have your resolutions and everything in queue so you can fulfill it. Look, I think that, it's going to be an interesting year. There's no doubt about it. I think it's time to get things going and to get business flowing and kick off this year in good form. And it's the first Monday of 2015, and things are going to begin to shake up a bit, not only on Wall Street, but just on Main Street as well. A lot of things in motion. A lot of money's flowing in different directions. A lot of geopolitical circumstances are coming into play. So it's going to be an interesting year. There's no doubt. Today, the Dow slipped over 2%. And there was a continued sell-off in oil. It dipped below $50 a barrel. And, the general consensus out there basically dictates that it may just go lower. And if it just continues to go lower, I mean, some analysts are saying that we're going to see below 40 at some point this year, and that's going to be interesting. It's good for consumers. It's good for people like me and you, because you're driving. That means gas prices are going to be lower, which means you can actually travel further than normally you would. So, having gas at $2.20, $2.50, $2.60 a gallon as opposed to $4 and change, it's a game changer for a lot of people. But for the oil production companies, it's not so much. not so good for them. Remember that the cost of extracting oil from the ground still costs the same. Whether they were doing it a year ago or they're doing it today, it's going to cost the same unless they came up with some new technology to make it happen. I'm assuming that, and again, I don't have the figures in front of me, but I'm assuming fracking may just be in line with that, or maybe a little more costly. I don't know. But extracting the oil out of the ground is a costly endeavor. And the profit margins are going to be slimming for these big companies, and I do anticipate, I do anticipate oil slipping a little further. That's just my opinion. And again, it's a good thing for consumers. Now, the issue in the end is as oil drops, what real drag will this have on the U.S. economy as a whole? And this is something that remains to be seen. We don't know what's going to happen. Just oil dropping within itself, it's really interesting because, here in the States we have a lot of reserves, and you have big purchasers in China and so on and so forth. But as they come up with new greener technologies, the use, and again, I hope it happens sooner than later, but the utilization of as much oil as has been used over the past 10, 20 years is going to change. And once that changes, the demand is not going to be as high as it once was. And with anything, any commodity, it's supply and demand. You have the demand, the supply is going to dictate what prices is going to be, because the demand is going to be there. If the demand is not as strong as it was, and you have an abundance of it, then it changes things and it makes things cheaper. And that's the reality of it. Listen, in the end, the way I look at it, the stock market for long-term players is always a good bet. And I would say you may want to look for those companies that do have depth to them, because with what's been transpiring, you had some stocks that did slip down a little bit. But you want to find companies that have depth to them. Don't look at the high flyers or flavor of the day. If you're not a professional trader or have time to do all the due diligence that you need to do, that you should be doing, that you need to get done in order to be on top of your portfolio, look, you can either lock in a good financial advisor or really do some due diligence and pick some companies that have been beaten down, that have some meat to them, that you can just buy, put in your portfolio, and don't think about it on a daily or on a monthly basis, and just let them mature over time. So that's an option. A couple of industries that you may want to keep tabs on, and probably I'm going to say they're going to be technology and energy. And I do put technology on top of the pile because we're only in the beginning stages of something really big. And the likes of Google, Amazon, Facebook, so on and so forth, they haven't even scratched the surface yet. Microsoft as well, they haven't scratched the surface yet of what is yet to come. And, you have visionaries out there like Elon Musk. He has a vision. But without execution, a dream stays a dream. A vision stays a vision. So knowing how passionate someone like Elon Musk is and how it can trickle down to other leaders in technology, it's going to be interesting because you have a lot of thinkers out there. You have these companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook. They're actually going out and they're trying to find these great minds with ideas. Bringing forth an idea to change the future, change how we live our lives. That's an amazing thing. You have so many people out there that are talented, that have been stifled, and you have a lot of young people now that are coming up with new ideas, and it's really great when companies like this embrace it and they have an open mind to it. Where many years ago you can have a great idea, but getting someone's attention was very difficult. You'd have to, take a sledgehammer and knock down a door. Where now you have an idea, with the advent of social media and things like that, you can get it out there and get someone's attention. And now with the venture capitalists and private equity firms out there throwing money at new ideas and technology at a whim, it's more and more evident that you can have a lot more of these startup situations popping up and these ideas flowing. And, sooner or later, one of these ideas is going to really, really change how we live our lives. I mean, it's happening now. You walk down the street, you see people with their smartphones, their pads, their this, their that. We're all plugged in. We're all plugged in, and once you're plugged in, it's hard to plug out. And that's the reality of it. You look at a company like Samsung. They're constantly innovating, and I love the innovation they have. And what they're doing is they're looking for the next big thing in technology, so that then they're incorporating other different types of technology into their product line, because they're looking to make the consumer experience that much better. So going back to someone like Elon Musk and other path makers in technology that have vision, they don't just have vision, they have passion for what they do. That's why they're at the helm of their companies. That's why they don't just sell their company and take a walk and try something else. They stay there and they're looking to build, because it's not about the money. It's about changing things in this world, changing the lives of people. Isn't that great? You're going to see a lot more stuff like that transpiring over 2015, I believe, and going into 2016. I really do think that you're going to have a lot of new technology coming out. You're going to have a lot of these companies coming to the forefront, and hopefully some of this technology will, again, not only better the world, but it'll serve a purpose. Clean water for people that can't get it in some countries, and I've been to these countries. And it's really tough to see, the water supply muddy, and then you have to drink it. when that's the only water that's available. So hopefully some of this technology will be in that arena, and even bringing power to areas where you don't have any power lines, maybe portable power. Maybe that'll be something that somebody will come up with. I know there are a lot of different technologies out there that they're looking to push forth that I would definitely showcase on Money Never Sleeps, because it's going to change the world. Just imagine being in the middle of anywhere, the jungle, and you're able to have portable power there that does not require oil. Now, isn't that something? And I think that we're going to see that in the near future. Okay. Now, as far as companies and stock picks, stuff like that, I'm not going to give any precise picks on the show today. But I do recommend, tuning into Pete Nigerian on CNBC. He's a trader, but he has a shrewd look into a company's growth patterns. And along with that, what he does, he links them into other crossovers that may impact the stock long term. So, kind of listening to him and getting an idea and kind of getting into his head will wind up helping you in the long run. So you want to check him out. And you can always check him out on Twitter because he puts stuff out there as well. A good guy. Another couple of good viewpoints from some top people can be taken from the likes of Abigail Doolittle. She's a top market strategist at Greenbush Financial. And then you have Joanna Rossi. Okay, she's a true award-winning hedge fund trader, and you can find both of them on Twitter, and they do frequent CNBC and Fox Business, and their input is invaluable because when you're getting information, and this is what's great about social media and just having and technology and having this information on the go, that you can get information from them that normally you wouldn't get, and it gives you a different view. And having a different view makes you think about what can be or what can't be. So on that note, what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with you on Money Never Sleeps.
Indonesian officials displayed items recovered from Air Asia Flight 8501, but no signals have been heard from the cockpit voice and flight data recorders, the plane's so-called black boxes.
We've deployed 5 vessels to find the ping signal of the black box, but up until now, we haven't succeeded.
Searchers continue to fight bad weather while combing the Java Sea for bodies and wreckage of the Airbus A320 that crashed more than a week ago. 162 passengers and crew were on board. Sonar has identified 5 large objects that are believed to be chunks of the fuselage on the ocean floor, but strong currents, silt, and mud have kept divers from seeing or reaching the objects. Crews have also recovered more than 36 bodies. Meanwhile, Indonesia's transportation ministry announced harsh measures against everyone who allowed the flight to take off without proper permits, including the airport's operator and officials in the control tower. While the airline is being investigated, Indonesia has banned all Air Asia flights between Surabaya and Singapore, the route the downed jet was flying.
So there's a difference between their permit and the actual facts. That's why we suspended them.
It's not known what caused Flight 8501 to crash into the Java Sea 42 minutes into what was supposed to be a 2-hour flight. Indonesia's weather agency says bad weather appears to have been a factor. Matt Friedman, Associated Press.
This is Chef Gavin Murphy with your 1-minute healthy cooking tip. A lot of people are more health conscious nowadays, especially when it comes to food. But did you know there are a lot of hidden calories in, of all things, salad dressing? They're chock full of added sugars. But don't fret, I've got you covered. Try this quick and delicious salad dressing recipe. Grab a small Tupperware container with a lid and add a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of whole grain or Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of organic honey, pinch of salt and pepper, and 3/4 cup of olive oil. Pop the lid on and give it a good old shake. This is spot on for a beautiful summer salad and will keep in the fridge for weeks. For more healthy cooking tips and info, go to gavinmurphy.com.
Your platform for success. Chosen by industry leaders worldwide. Curve Street. advanced real estate technology.
All right, welcome back to Money Never Sleeps. Now it's time to talk about real estate. Surprise, surprise. There has been a lot of movement on a national scale, both on the residential and commercial end. The low rates and a little more inventory hitting the streets is shifting things a bit and giving buyers some hope that, and this is a big thing. This is the hope that they need, that they're not going to be competing or getting into a bidding war with, bigger buyers, private equity funds or REITs looking to sweep in and buy everything in sight. This is something that pretty much has subsided a bit. Okay, where now you have things coming to the market that are allowing buyers to actually get in there that are looking to get their first home. Not as an investment, to get their first home. And they can have a shot of doing that. And that's the name of the game, and that's what helps build cities, build communities. So you have a number of real estate investment funds. What they're doing, they're shaking off some of these assets, and this is helping somewhat. So yes, this is potentially very good news, and it's evening the playing field a bit, allowing buyers to get back, as I said, to get back in. And hey, you know what? Someone buys a property. Most times there's an agent involved. So when that real estate agent's involved, that allows them to ramp up their commissions, and cha-ching goes the register. They're making money. And what winds up happening there, agents are making money, and the houses are being sold, and properties being flipped, and now you have money flowing back into, if not the community, then within the economy. So it does do something there. Again, this is what's happening now. But when the rates begin to rise, then that story just may begin to change even more. We just have to be aware of the climate, because it becomes a trickle-down effect. The more stress, and this is what I have to really stress, when you have someone that buys a home. You have a couple newlyweds, they buy a home, their first home. And now the rates, they're not at 5, 6, they're at whatever, let's say maybe they're 8, maybe they're 9. Okay, when that transpires, what winds up happening, it just puts more stress on the new homeowners. They're going to have less money to spend. Okay, so they're going to have less money to spend on everything from clothing to food. So we will have to wait and see what happens as the months move forward in 2015. I think it's going to be interesting. We just have to really, keep an eye out to that arena to see what happens. Now on the commercial real estate front, there's so much growth. I can't even go over everything, but there's so much growth on a national scale. And that's because more, and again, this is my view, you have more startups that are in motion, more companies that are being developed, more entrepreneurs entering the business world. And so all this stuff's in motion. You have more growth in small business, more companies expanding into other markets. And what's happening is that the commercial real estate developers, they're not ignoring this, they're listening. So what they're doing, what they've been doing, they've been building new office buildings and towers. And the major players, they're doing something pretty smart. They're acquiring key properties, and they're paying top dollar for them. And they're repositioning these properties, adding retail in some cases. And the reason for the retail, obviously, that's an additional measure for to increase their profit margins. And draw more people to the building. So it just makes things very interesting. Basically, there's no better arena in real estate to be in than in commercial real estate at this point, at this juncture. And it's going to be this way for some time. From Florida to New York and California, as well as most states in between, there's a lot of opportunity. So I see this growth continuing well into 2016. And this year, we will see a lot of shifting and a lot of positive growth in this arena. And this is what I see happening. And this is another thing which you have to also keep in mind. And it's important. It's important in the commercial real estate world. Commercial leasing. Okay, when you have, when commercial leases increase, then you have a high occupancy rate. So now, look, in New York, especially in New York markets, in the New York market and other markets like that, where you have some buildings that right now, today, they're at 90+% occupancy rate, where 5 years ago, they were at maybe 65, 70, and some buildings were less than that. So there's something that they haven't seen for some time. So as technology companies that keep going into technology, because that's where you have a big boom. So as technology companies boom, and as I mentioned, more startups popping up, looking for space in prime markets, and then you have a lot of universities that are creating these incubator situations, so they're actually taking on more space. And these incubators are really interesting because they allow someone to come in and give them a chance to build, and then they branch out. And actually the incubator, group, in some cases, they help them find a space somewhere. So it becomes even that more interesting for them. So I think that, again, I think 2015 is going to be interesting. I think 2016 is going to be more interesting, but let's stick with this year first. And look, and also you have a lot of city governments. What they're doing, they're pushing hard to spark growth in their respective markets. They're advertising, they're creating programs, tax credits for certain businesses to come to their state. All right, so a lot of this stuff's in motion, and again, it's going to help this end of the real estate market. It's going to help everything end on a high note, or actually continue to grow. Continue to grow, not ending on a high note, but just continue to grow. And basically, I don't see this really stopping anytime soon, because we have to create business, we have to create jobs in this country. So I do hope that they start to figure out the manufacturing part of it, which I think these incubators are going to start developing, or allowing smaller companies or people that may be sole proprietors, give them the opportunity, the breathing room to actually grow and build something. So that's all we can hope for, and that's what I see happening here. But before we go to break, I just want to say this: if you're a chocolate lover, then you will want to check out Parter's Chocolate. That's PARDAS, Parter's Chocolate. They have the top kosher chocolate in the Northeast, if not the country. Lots of new items coming in 2005, so you're going to want to check them out. And if you've ever had their chocolate, it is to die for. But yeah, check them out. All right. Anyway, on that note, what we're going to do is we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to be right back with you on Money Never Sleeps.
Your platform for success. Chosen by industry leaders worldwide. Curve Street, advanced real estate technology.
Hi everyone, John and Pete Najarian here at the NASDAQ with some news you do not want to miss.
As option floor traders, CNBC contributors, and co-founders of OptionMonster.com, people always want to know our secrets for trading the options.
So we wrote an entire book on it. And today, to celebrate the book launch, we're giving away a limited number of these books for free.
Learn how you can use options like we do to make more income with less capital. Learn how you can use options like we do to make more income with less capital. To reduce the market's moving. And to make money regardless of which way the market's moving.
It's all right here in this book. And today, we're giving it away to you
as one of the most successful financial products to be introduced in modern times. One of the most successful financial products to be introduced in modern times.
This one book could dramatically increase your investment return. This one book could dramatically increase your investment return.
And today it's free.
So pick up that phone and call now.
Call 1-800-961-1923 for your free book. Call now. 1-800-961-1923. Call now.
Hi, my name is Peter May of London Central Properties, and we're based in Cavendish Square, which is close to Regent's Park. The majority of my work experience has been in sales, in particular the hotel and hospitality industry, both in the UK and overseas. London Central Properties is an established company with a global presence and a high reputation for service and discretion. We specialise in the sale of high-value, off-market apartments, houses, hotels and investments. We have recently opened a new division specialising in the provision of service departments which cover the full spectrum from budget to exclusive. These apartments are suitable for both leisure and corporate clients and are located in the key areas of London, including Mayfair, Knightsbridge, Kensington and Bayswater. For further information, please refer to our website, which is www.londoncentralproperties.com. We have now established an exclusive partnership with the host of Money Never Sleeps, Mr. Louis Velazquez.
All right, welcome back to Money Never Sleeps, and I want to talk about the fitness industry now. Okay, this is the fun stuff. With the New Year's resolutions in queue, you will have an influx of people hitting the gyms, but not just traditional gyms, but I'm talking about CrossFit type self-defense and martial arts facilities and other specialty training facilities. This is big business. This is really big business, people. And because as people train, and there's a whole, I'm going to map this out. I'm going to try to paint the picture. When people train, they begin to use supplements. So those supplement companies begin to see a positive push. But let us not forget about eating clean. People work out. They want to look good. They want to feel good. They have to eat differently. So that will give a push to, let's say, like spring water companies and vegetable providers and farmers, and so on and so forth. So you see how this stretches beyond just the gym, just a workout facility. It goes beyond that. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, my friends. And even though a lot of these companies are privately held, the boom in this arena cannot be ignored. Now, here's a picture that I really need to paint for everyone, and I'm going to try to paint it. More people getting healthy. You have more people getting healthy, right? So what happens? That means that they're going to work harder. They're going to get inspired. They're going to feel good. And there's going to be growth for whatever company they're with. And look, the reason being, my view on it, is that a happy worker is a productive worker. They feel good. They look good. They're going to want to do good. They're going to want to do more because they're going to have that energy level to actually do it. Now, how about those entrepreneurs that become driven, that are driven already, become more driven because they feel good? Well, those people will begin to push harder, creating more opportunities, thus creating more jobs. And that, my friends, is the aftershock of a health craze. And we're in that mode right now. You have a lot of people that want to get healthy. You have a lot of, doctors that are coming out, and they're, more people going to the doctors with Obamacare in motion. They have insurance. They're going to doctors. They're getting checked out. And guess what? Now the doctors are saying, hey, you know what? You better hit the gym. Oh, well, the insurance companies actually give you a break if you go to the gym. So why not train at the gym? Why not try to reduce your insurance rates, right? So why not do that and try to live a little longer? Then you have people that see their kids and say, well, I want to be there for my kid when he graduates or when she gets married. And I want to be there for my grandkids when they graduate and when they get married. The only way you're going to do that if you stay healthy. Okay, so that is, that's what's going to be happening there. And look, let us not forget the fitness apparel industry. Okay, you have, that within itself is like a horrendous business. And you talk about companies like Nike and Under Armour and things like that. Now you're getting the picture. This is big business. And you even have smaller companies that are doing it. that are getting involved in this. One company I like, it's a small company out of Canada, is Roots of Fight. They have a great product line that includes the Bruce Lee legacy, Muhammad Ali, and includes Mike Tyson and mixed martial arts and some UFC legends and so on and so forth. And they're gaining some traction, but you have companies like that are popping up. And again, I mentioned the publicly held ones. A lot of these companies are private. But from yoga pants to hardcore workout gear, and I'm not just talking about t-shirts and sweatpants and things like that and that type of gear. I'm talking about hats. I'm talking about wrist straps, gloves, ropes. Okay, some people have the weighted vests, and they have the straps and the strands where they're doing Pilates and this and that and all these. I mean, just a ton of things start to move into the hands of those inspired consumers. And there you have the opportunity. Okay, so it becomes interesting. Now, another area that is booming is the personal trainer arena. Yeah, I'm not talking about your run-of-the-mill gym worker who's hired to train people. I'm talking about real trainers who have a lot of experience and bring their years of experience to the table to help people achieve their goals. Now, for those that can afford it, hey, they will not hesitate to hire the best of the best and the most effective trainer to get them where they need to be. And the thing is, the personal trainer part of it is just the beginning. I talked about it earlier. You're training hard, what happens? You're going to want to eat clean. You're going to want to eat healthy. Okay, some people don't cook. They're not chefs. They don't want to cook. So what happens? Well, those that are on a budget, both time and money-wise, they may opt to get prepared meals delivered to them every week for the week. Now, this may seem expensive, but if you put things on paper and go dollar for dollar, with what you would go and shop and make it yourself and the time involved and everything for these items, then prepping them, and you're going to see a slight difference in some cases. Now, of course, if you're looking to do something professional and you're, this I'm talking about a normal person. Okay, but if you're eating 6-8 times a day, then of course that changes. You're eating more food. It means you're going to be spending more money, and that's how that works. But yeah, so I just think that the fitness arena, there's so many different opportunities there, and it can be from workout DVDs to online training, and then the next latest Taibo type of thing that's going to come out, and you're going to have a lot of that coming out. You're going to have some personality that's going to come out that people are going to adhere to, and it's going to happen. And again, that's going to spark another type of thing. Okay, but next week, what I want to do, and I'm going to be pinpointing some facilities that may offer the most bang for your buck as far as training and things of that nature. So you'll want to tune in for that one if you're interested in getting healthy, getting fit, things of that nature. Because we want to touch on Money Never Sleeps on anything and everything that impacts the flow of money, but also industries that are still growing. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, people are going to want to stay healthy. Same way, you have an umbrella company. How many umbrella companies do you see go out of business? Not many, because, it will rain and you will need an umbrella. And that's the reality of it. Okay, so, people will train. They will need to eat well. They will need their supplements. They will need a place to train. They will need, in some cases, a trainer or someone to guide them along the way. They will need someone to put on the lights of the facility and so on and so forth. So, again, there's a lot of growth in that arena, and we're going to touch on that next week. And, all right, on that note, what I want to do, I want to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with you on Money Never Sleeps.
This is Chef Gavin Murphy with your 1-minute healthy cooking tip. A lot of people are more health conscious nowadays, especially when it comes to food. But did you know there are a lot of hidden calories in, of all things, salad dressing? They're chock full of added sugars. But don't fret, I've got you covered. Try this quick and delicious salad dressing recipe. Grab a small Tupperware container with a lid and add a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of whole grain or Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of organic honey, pinch of salt and pepper and 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. Pop the lid on and give it a good old shake. This is spot on for a beautiful summer salad and will keep in the fridge for weeks. For more healthy cooking tips and info, go to gavinmurphy.com.
AP Showbiz Minute. Joey Badass has been charged with assaulting a security guard in Australia. The 19-year-old hip-hop artist allegedly punched the guard and broke his nose after he was asked to prove his identity on the way to the stage for a performance at the Falls Music and Arts Festival near Byron Bay. If convicted, the rapper could be sentenced to a maximum of 5 years in prison. Teresa Giudice will be jailed on Monday. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star will report to a federal prison in Danbury, Connecticut to begin serving a 15-month sentence for bankruptcy fraud. Husband Joe, who also pleaded guilty to failing to pay taxes, will serve his 41-month sentence after his wife is released. The Hobbit, The Battle of Five Armies is a New Year smash. Peter Jackson's fantasy epic is enjoying its 3rd straight week at the top of the American box office, with Disney musical Into the Woods and Angelina Jolie's World War II tale Unbroken making up the top 3. The weekend's lone new wide release, horror sequel The Woman in Black 2 Angel of Death, landed in 4th. This is Matt Kemp with AP Showbiz Minute.
All right, welcome back to Money Never Sleeps. And I want to remind all of our listeners to make sure to tune in next week as we bring on our resident matchmaker to the rich and famous Tiffany Brown. She is awesome in what she does. She's coming back for her weekly input on the do's and don'ts of dating for the wealthy. So you don't want to miss it. You may pick up some tips that'll help you out. Even if you're not wealthy, you may pick up some tips that are going to help you out in your endeavors. It was an amazing 2014, and let's make this an even more amazing 2015. All the opportunity is in front of you to make this year what you want it to be in business and in life in general, in your personal life. Live life to the fullest, my friends. Make it as abundant as possible. Go out, live your dreams, fight for those dreams. And you know what? You're going to fail, but you're going to persevere. And through your failures, you'll find a lot of success out there. So you can listen to all the Money Never Sleeps episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, and on UCWRadio.com. Until next week, have an amazingly awesome and profitable week, and make this first full week of 2015 one for the books. Take care for now.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.